bear in mind that this is a watery battlefield, so it is going to be extremely difficult for any of our cavalry to actually do anything. Hello Reformers, and welcome back to Prophecy of Pendor. Now, when we left off, we were running around and attempting to find the strongest bandit parties possible, and I've actually just run into a whole bunch of Ravenstern footmen. Now, as you can probably tell from their text here, they are free warriors, and we're going to be tackling them and attempting to take them out. They are deserters. There's 50 of us against 29 of them. Now, of course, I actually have a much better... Well, I actually look pretty menacing, don't I? Look at that. I actually have a much better armor nowadays because we just gained 15 strength and we were able to use our Barclay plated light leather armor torso piece. I don't know. It's called something along those lines anyway, and it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It actually gives us a huge amount of different stats and skills and wonderful things, so yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Now, what we're going to try to do is just let our forces do their thing, and I'm going to try and knock a couple of these people out with our lance and try and take them prisoner. Now, there's a reason, there's actually a very good reason that I think I've explained multiple times, but I'm just going to go over it again anyway, because I think some of you are maybe missing the point of me using the lance. Anyway, the point is that I'm using the lance because it's the only weapon I have at the moment that is actually capable of taking prisoners. And it's not really a big deal if I actually kill any of these guys or not with the lance, because my forces are then going to be able to get the experience, which is of course the main thing that I'd like to do here. I'd prefer my companions to get level ups or whatever, but well, that's fine. But as you can see, we were able to get 2 prisoners from that. And that is, in my opinion, a pretty reasonable and worthwhile thing to do. Is someone really swapping out their rusty horned black helm? Why are they swapping that out? I'm a bit worried about this now, because I have a feeling that they're swapping out something really good for something really bad. But anyway, as I was saying, that is an additional 2 units that we're going to be able to sell at the ransom broker for a pretty decent sum. So I'm going to try and go back to Avendor here, and we're still at war against the Fyhrr, by the way, so hopefully we'll be able to fight maybe another Fyhrr vassal at some point. Let's get some maiden warriors to level up there, and we now have 11 units to sell. So of course, because in general a lance is going to be able to do much more damage than a normal weapon, and I mean, I'm talking about, you know, blunt weapon, piercing weapon, whatever the case may be, it's going to be able to do more damage due to the couch lancing, obviously. And if we're able to, we're going to try and take out the highest value targets, which I've spoken about previously, and that is indeed then going to enable me to sell them for a pretty decent amount of cash. So yeah, that's basically the reasoning why I'm using the lance, basically only. And if you didn't understand that before, well, now you do, so that's great. Anyway, we can obviously sell all of these things. Kind of surprised that the merchant only has 3,000, but alright. Maybe we should buy some more food. Maybe some more grain and some dried meat and maybe a couple of sausages or something like that. And we currently are using these 2 steel shields. I'm also using a fine Jatu heavy saber. I would like to try and find, if at all possible, a weapon that is capable of actually doing blunt damage, because then I'd be able to take even more prisoners, and that would be pretty fantastic. But at the moment, obviously, that is probably not going to happen. I mean, you can see here, what kind of weapon can I get? A bent wooden stick? Yes, let me go and get a bent wooden stick. That sounds like a great plan instead of a lance. Yes. And especially a blunt tip lance at that. I personally feel like that's a really, really good weapon. Anyway, let's sell... Ooh, that's actually a nice piece of armor, but apparently none of our companions wanted any of these things. I'm kind of surprised. I'm kind of surprised by that. Interesting. Okay, well, never mind. Let's just sell all of it. And we're gaining huge amounts of money as a result of this. I am probably going to keep this helm around because you never know when you're going to come across another companion that could potentially use a helm. And most companions do tend to come with no helm. So it would probably be a better idea for us to do that. Anyway, let's go into the tavern, see if there's a ransom broker here. I think this is a ransom broker. Yes, it is. Fantastic. So let's actually just take a look and see how much each of these are going to sell for individually here. So these guys are going to sell for 88. Heretic Magnus, actually not as much as I thought, but they're selling for 286. I suppose if you're able to take a Heretic Invoker prisoner, you're probably going to get a lot more, probably about 500 or so for them. The Vanskry Warriors are almost the same in terms of the amount that you can get for them as the Heretic Magnus, and they, I think, might be a little bit easier for us to deal with as well. Fyhrr's Vain Huntresses, about the same as them as well. And of course we do have those 2 Ravenstone Footmen, so that's an extra little bit of cash right there, which is pretty nice. And we have a mercenary cavalryman here, Brother Randolph. Is Brother Randolph the fellow that... Oh, I'm not interested in that map at the moment, thank you very much. I might be interested in some of your... some of your books. I mean, I do know that there are books that improve nodal relations, like this one right here. However, I think they only give you 10? I think they only give you 10 relations, so you are going to need to do a little bit of work in getting the nodal on your side, because you need to get them to 0, obviously, to make them into neutral party, and they are currently minus 30. So getting 10, that's obviously 20 from both books, and it's not really going to work out too well. But I'm going to learn this poem right here, because eventually we are going to want to marry someone, and yeah, hopefully that's going to help us out to gain some relation with them. Now, I do know that there was another person in here. Ah, this fellow. What news can you share with me? I bumped into a traveler named Morkana Oakenshield outside the walls, who relayed to me a piece of information regarding the barbaric recent events that seem out of the ordinary. Ah, it was yesterday, after dark. He was exploring that and something or other. Oh, I see. They're referencing the mod creator. That's pretty funny. Okay, so that's pretty cool. Otherwise, we can also speak to this fellow and see if we can get anything. Nah. I'm still, of course, trying to find the Red Brotherhood hideout. And, of course, we do still want to be very, very careful with what we do. Ah, wait a minute. I should probably go to the Guildmaster and try and buy a Weaverian Dye Works here if I can. So... Oh, Duke Brennus still doesn't like us. Where is he? Where is Duke Brennus? Maybe I should go into the castle and see whether we can find him. I'm actually kind of surprised that he is still negative relation with us, because I actually thought that we spoke to him at one point and that he was okay with us now, but apparently not. Okay, well, anyway, let's go over to Kennet Castle then, who is... Oh, it's actually right down there. That's pretty close by. Gotta be a bit careful here, because I'm not entirely sure if the three steers, no. But the 3 seers have launched a surprise attack on Marlians. That's not very good, is it? Okay, so let's take a look here. Did I just miss someone from out of the corner of my eye right here? I think Duke Brennus was maybe traveling in this direction. Or did I just completely miss him? Well, the 3 seers are attempting to take, as you can see, they are attempting to take Marlians, and it might be a pretty decent idea for me to head in there. But we should probably try and do that at the end of the battle so that we have a greater chance of getting the most benefit from it. So let's actually just take a look and see where Duke Brennus actually is. He's traveling to Avendor. What a fantastic fellow he is. Yes, not really. Alright, so this fellow needs us to collect taxes from Berglen. Okay, fine, let's do that. Even though that is going to reduce our relation with Berglen, we might be able to do a couple of tasks for the villagers there. Maybe, kind of to rectify the situation and make their relation a little bit better with us. So let's actually just take a look and see what's happening here. Alright, so Marlian's currently... What is actually going to happen here? Because I know that previously, when I've played Pendor and for example, Says comes under siege, or I think it's Ethos actually. I think Ethos actually comes under siege by the Snake Cult. And I think what happens is, as soon as the enemies, the neutral enemies, in this case the three seers, as soon as they get the garrison down to 0, then they just leave. And it stays the exact same in terms of ownership, but it then gives the enemy factions a very easy way of taking Malians. And you know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking we're gonna let that happen, but only when, wait a minute, only when we become a vassal. That's not very good, is it? We need 120, yes, we have 127. We need a little bit more renown to become a vassal. But for that, we also need to obviously get more weavery and dye works. So let's just take a look at our weekly budget here real quick. Okay, so we have a dye works at Salian, of course. Okay, so I could go to Laria, but I'd like to speak to Duke Brennus. There's King Ulrich right there. He's obviously going to reinforce Malians. So I'd like to speak to Duke Brennus if I can. Maybe he's got an easy task for us. Ah, there he is. Hello, you scoundrel, you dirty scoundrel. Where is he? Now he's disappeared. Ah, there we go. There he is. Alright, so let's speak to him and see what he's actually going to... could you... Oh, what? He said I got rid of some guy, and then he was like, oh, that's really great, wonderful, and then he doesn't go up in relation. Isn't that fantastic? Alright, so... Oh, this... Are you serious? This guy has literally been taken prisoner by the fellow that I defeated? Okay, that's kind of amusing. Okay, has consigned my son to his dungeons, no doubt in the hope that he can demand more from us. Okay, sure. Why not? Why not? Sure, let's do it. Time to act. Let's do this. Alright, so it's not Mistmire Castle. Where is it? Anson... Where is it now? Highcliffe Castle. Alright, well that's actually not even that far away, and I should be able to do a reasonable job at breaking in there. I mean, I've had a bit of practice in Warsword Conquest, which is the other mod that I'm playing at the moment. Alright, so we've arrived at Highcliffe Castle, and, well, let me just say, there are 3 vassals in the garrison here, so I hope that on our escape attempt we will not have to fight them. If we do, we're gonna be having a bit of an issue, but as you can see, we were able to sneak in successfully. I'm very surprised. I have a loot. This is not going to work out very well. I have a knife and a loot. This is literally my shield. Are you serious right now? Okay, well, anyway, I can't go into the castle. Where is the... This seems like a very skeptical and sketchy place for someone to hold... This is the dungeon? It seems like a camping shack of some kind. Oh, well, never mind. I want to speak with a prisoner. You need to get permission from the Lord to talk to prisoners. Come on now, I thought you were the boss here. Yeah, you got that right. So I can't let you into the prison. I found a purse with 100 dinars. You're very cheap, aren't you? Yes. Don't let him hear me say that, though, obviously. Hello, Lord Malbert. You look like a sufficiently wonderful man with your wonderful moustache. Ugh. Yes. Not really, right? Okay, so yes, there we go. By the way, I hear you ran away from Jarl Einka one hand like a squeaking rat fleeing a terrier, leaving your men behind to be butchered. Really? That was a long time ago. He's keeping record of our exploits, isn't he? What a terrible, terrible individual. And he's literally just insulted us, and we're coming to break him out. Oh, thank the heavens you came, you squeaking rat. That's apparently what he's meant to say to me now. What? Okay. What? You need to get the key away from the guard. Are you serious? I thought I might be able to pick the lock. Ah, okay, well that's probably not going to work out too well then, because if I have to fight by myself, well, you know how that goes. It doesn't go very well. Alright, well, who's this? Fyrrsvein Spear Maiden. Okay, I'm going to speak to this guy. Give me the keys to the cell now. Okay, let's kill him. Okay, there we go. He's down. He is down. Alright, so can I go in? Yes, I can go straight in. Do they follow me? I don't think they're that advanced at the moment. Alright, so let's speak to him. I've come to get you out of here. There we go. I have, yes, I'll need you to grab a weapon and help me despite your weakness. Yes, of character and of skill and strength and everything else. Anyway, let's go back out. And, Lord Malbert. Oh, I have my gear now. Oh, this is nice. Lord Malbert, you're very well geared, aren't you? Yes, I don't think I have to worry about being killed here next to him. Yes, he's absolutely murdering everyone. Well, that's pretty nice. I'm actually kind of happy I have this Jatu Saber, to be honest. It's pretty good in terms of its reach and its speed, so... Oh no, don't die! Don't die! Okay, come on. I'm gonna try and take some damage for you, Lord Malbert. Because we cannot have him die. If he dies, we lose. So, this is not good. Kill him! Yeah, there we go, there we go. Okay, crossbowman. Deal with him! Yes, there we go. We killed him, and we got level 21 as a result of that. And now, hopefully, this fellow will not end up killing one of us. No! Don't hit Lord Malbert. I don't like him very much, but don't hit him anyway. There we go. Alright. We did it! I'm in your debt for freeing me, friend, and we're apparently outside now. You're free to go wherever you want, sir. Maybe into my bedchambers. And he's just like, yes, thank you. Oh, there we go. Okay, wow. He actually accepted my bedchamber invite. Isn't that crazy? Alright, well, there you go. We are actually at Highcliffe Castle, and we now have to kind of escape. So we were able, amazingly enough, to complete this prison break. I've never really been able to do it before, and I'm not entirely sure why I was able to do it this time, but there you go. Alright. Relatively successful. So let's go over to Duke Brennus and say that his wonderful, wonderful son, that he should be very proud of, considering they both insult me the exact same way, yes, is now free. Alright, so Kasim has advanced to level 8. Our relation with Highcliffe Castle has improved, hilariously enough, don't know why. Beartild the Looter, you saved him. Thank you ever so much for rescuing my son. Please take this as some small repayment for your noble deed. And I don't exactly know why his voice changed. Anyway, always an honor to serve. Alright, so we now have 6 relation with him, so I will be able to get a Weavery and Dye Works up and running. So let's have a look here. What's going on? I need someone to capture one of the noble lords of Fyhrr's vein and bring him to me. Afterwards, I'll be able to exchange him in return for a relative of mine. It is a simple enough job, but whomever you choose will be guarded by an elite band of personal retainers. I'll try. Why not? Let's try it out, because maybe I'm going to be doing a little bit of fighting with the Fyhrr's vein, and it might make sense. So let's finally go and speak to the guild master and actually get a productive enterprise up and running. So a Weavery and Dye Works is going to be 568. There you go. You can just take that. That seems pretty good. And now one of you in the comments is going to be like, oh, but if you build this thing in Avendor, it's going to be so much better. And I'm like, facepalm, you know? Yeah, that's usually how it goes. But Weavery and Dye Works is usually a pretty decent thing to do, even if there is something a little bit better. So I don't really mind so much. I can always replace it later down the line, but a Weavery and Dye Works is always kind of standard and pretty solid. So I'm pretty happy with that. Anyway, let us now move on and attempt to fulfill Duke Brennus's wishes by capturing a Fyhrr's vein vassal. This is going to be a bit difficult for me though, because I only have 51. I should really try and fight someone that has a couple of prisoners or something like that. Maybe these brigands would be kind of nice to fight. I mean, I'm still looking for a huge amount of money, do bear that in mind, and I'm still looking for renown as well. So, yeah, okay, let's do that. And then maybe what we'll do is, if I'm able to capture a sufficient number of these guys, we'll head back to one of the taverns, maybe try and get some mercenary units or something like that, because we need maybe a little bit more units to be able to tackle. Whoa, okay, these guys mean business. We need to charge straight on in, I think. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yes, see, now that's exactly what I like about having a lance and being able to use it to extreme effect. With that 294 damage, that's exactly what I like to see. And we're able to take one of the highest selling units prisoner as a result of that. So yeah, one of you, saying, oh, why are you using a lance? Well, that's the reason. So yeah, it's just pretty good in my opinion. And maybe well, but yeah, there we go. We're able to also take that rogue Blackheart Squire prisoner as well. So yeah, anyway, as I was saying, we probably want to get maybe a couple more mercenaries or something like that for us to be able to tackle some Vanskry warrior bands as well as maybe some Fyhrr's Vain vassals too. I mean, I'm pretty sure I can defeat maybe a Fyhrr's Vain vassal with about 60, 70, maybe even 80 units in their army, but maybe any bit more than that. It really depends on the composition. So we obviously need to take note of that. I mean, you can see here that our renown rewards for this are basically extremely minuscule and something I'm not very happy about, to be honest. I'd like to see much more in the way of renown gains, but that's going to be difficult unless we start fighting bands of units that are much, much more in density than ourselves. So anyway, let's see if we can indeed find a Fyhrr's Vain vassal. Alright, so before we actually go into battle against the Fyhrr's Vain vassal that I found, amazingly enough, I thought it might be a good idea to actually spec a little bit into intelligence and try and flesh out our skills a little bit more. So what we're going to do is I'm actually going to improve our athletics and our shield. At the moment, I really do need to advance my Iron Flesh, but I think we're going to be able to do that when we start taking some of the elixirs that we'll be able to get in exchange for the Qualis gems. And so we're going to still, start advancing our archery. I think I actually have I maxed out my... No, I haven't maxed it out, but it seems like I just don't have enough weapon points to really make all that difference. But anyway, as you can see, there is actually a vassal in the village over here with 74, and we might be able to tackle him. Now, do bear in mind that I did say that it is... Oh, he actually only has 64? Oh, okay, that's interesting, because I actually thought he had much more, but I guess some of them were knocked unconscious or something like that. But yes, anyway, I did say that it is more than likely we'll be able to tackle a vassal that has about 50, 60, 70, maybe even 80. And so this was towards the higher end of that particular estimate. But now that I found out that he actually does have a couple of units that were knocked unconscious, this is even better. So let's see what we're able to do here. I'm actually just going to tell my infantry just to charge straight on in here because I do not want them to get to our archers. Our archers can just stand around there. Our cavalry can go over here. Bear in mind that this is a watery battlefield, so it is going to be extremely difficult for any of our cavalry to actually do anything. So I'm thinking I'm probably just going to charge them in. And should I even bother? Actually, you know what? I'm not going to actually charge in my cavalry right now. I mean, they can do a little bit of something nearby to the opponents, but I don't really want them to charge in too much. And let's tell our infantry to come back a little bit so that the enemies have to come all the way through the water. And this is exactly what I'm using my other weapon for, by the way, as well, because obviously it is too slow to use a lance in this kind of environment. So anything else that we can do with our saber is going to come in handy. There we go. We're playing really solidly. We're playing solidly right now. We're not taking too many risks, although the risks that we are taking are reasonably well calculated and pretty, kind of in our favor a little bit. I mean, it really depends on how effective I can be as an actual personal fighter, and that, that sometimes is a little bit variable, shall we say, because I'm not always the greatest, or, well, I'm not often the greatest, shall we say, at actually fighting on horseback, and indeed fighting in general. But recently, in Pendor at the very least, I've actually been able to survive a little bit more often than usual, and I think that's pretty cool. So anyway, there you go. 22 renown. We were able to defeat them very easily because they ran into the water. Literally, if that had been a flat battlefield and there was no water and they could just run at us, pretty sure we would have lost many more units. And you can see here that we actually lost 2 Vanskry warriors and 1 Jatu raider, which is not very good. And we can take him prisoner. Oh yes. There you go. Thank you very much. And I'm now going to tell our... Yeah, there we go. There we go. Our companions are getting some pretty good stuff right now. And let's just take all of this. And we'll be able to sell them for a pretty decent price. How much space do I have? Actually, pretty decent amount of space. So I'm just going to take all of this because I'm actually going to be going next to a town very, very soon. So that seems pretty good to me. Alright, so let us leave and go back to Duke Brennus. I'm a bit worried that these guys are going to try and attack me. Maybe this guy. Yeah, they are definitely wanting to track us down right now. So let's see if I can get away from them. Thank you very much. And Duke Brennus, where are you? There he is. Alright, so he's going to be loving us right now. Okay, so maybe we'll meet in a tournament someday. I do more harm with blunt weapons than you'd care to know. Yes, I heard a rumor that you engaged and defeated that flea-ridden dog, Jarl Idus Fairhair. Okay, well, yes. That's good. Okay, oh indeed, I've captured a lord from Fyhrr for you. He literally gave me 2,500. Really? Just that? Just 2,500? I probably would have gotten a lot more from the ransom, but... oh well, certainly, sir. And he's now got 11 relation. I actually thought that that was a much harder task than it actually turned out to be. I'm not going to be doing any more tasks for Duke Brennus. He appears to be not exactly the most appreciative type, so I guess we're just going to leave him alone, and I'm just going to go and sell a bunch of the things that I was able to pick up from the last few battles. And these things are they're gonna add up because we have looting skill, we have quite a bit of trader skill as well. So all of these things are gonna add up, and eventually they're gonna just be, you can see here, giving me another 2,000 dinars, which is pretty fantastic. So is there a ransom broker here? No, there isn't, but there is a Vanskari Marauder. Gonna take one of those. There is a ransom broker here, actually. Never mind. So these guys sell for 127, not that much. But, whoa, a Notorious Outlaw sells for 226. That's pretty crazy. And a Fyhrr's Vain Huntress is, of course, 286 as well. Very nice. Okay, well, that will be it for this episode. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.